Hello and welcome to another update video about Solana. Solana is still in my target area down here in red. Yeah, this is the target area we talked about since November. It is sitting between $55 and $100. And yeah, we talked about the potential of Solana dropping even further. I still think that is the case. We're going to zoom in a minute. Obviously, since the all-time high here back in November, Solana has been coming down in an ABC correction, which is also a wave 2. Yeah, it is just a wave 2. This is the first main wave Solana has done. As per the Elliott Wave method, this here is the second wave. After the second wave, you get a third wave. The third wave should take us at least to around $450 roughly, yeah. But it can go all the way up to roughly $700, okay? Bear in mind, this will never move in a straight line. But this correction will be finished at some point. It could be finished now. Might be a bit more downside. I think there will be more downside looking at the chart structure and what it's doing, and also what I would expect for Bitcoin. But as I've been saying since November pretty much, as soon as we hit the target area, and we are in the target area, the correction could theoretically be finished at any point because Solana has done what it needs to do in the correction. The only thing, and I did mention in the previous video, or two things basically, that make me think we haven't finished the correction. Well, it's actually more than just two things. But bear in mind, anywhere in here, Solana could start to make that rocket start at any time, because these are the Fibonacci levels where you need certain, or especially altcoins here, to come into. You've got your ABC correction. The C wave needs to end below the wave A. The C wave also needs to come down to certain Fibonacci levels. In this case, at least the 0.618 fib level, and we've done that already. That is here the $100 level. The 0.786 is down here, 55, and then we've got the 0.887 down at $80. So even the down at $30. So even the $30 level might be a possibility. And if I extend this, you can see that actually the price still has a lot of scope for further downside. Whoops. And the $30 level is the level where a lot of other altcoins have come into, not the $30 level, but the 88.7 fib level. So it is a highly relevant Fibonacci retracement level also for the current type of correction. So I wouldn't be surprised if Solana gets down to $30 again. However, I think 55 will be more realistic, but we shouldn't forget about this possibility that $30 is still a highly likely probability and possibility within the current scenario. I did mention in the previous videos anyway, but I just want to remind you, because $30 is quite a bit of a drop from here. But as I said, anywhere in this target area, Solana can start to make a correction. Bear in mind that these levels where we are now already below $100, they seemed so unrealistic when Solana was up here at 250, even when it was at around 170. All the way down, we talked about these levels, and now we are there. So at any point in time, Solana could finish the correction. Anybody who's frustrated with Solana, I just need to remind you, take a look at how the Amazon stock looked in the beginning. Take a look at how the Apple stock looked in the beginning in the 80s and 90s. Yeah. In the early days of any asset, typically you get these strong corrections. You get 70, 80, 90% corrections. And everybody's always saying that the altcoins are typically correcting in a bear market or whatever, 80, 90%. But this is true at the moment, but it won't always be the case. Yeah, the more money is flowing into the market, the less they're going to correct, the higher the market cap will be, the less will the corrections be, the less will be the volatility. And as I've mentioned before, everybody should be thankful for the current volatility that we still have in the market, because this allows us, or everybody who's trading or investing, to make a lot of money. Yeah, buying low, selling high. This won't always be the case that easily. I guess everybody who's investing or trading in the crypto market is of the assumption that altcoins are here to stay, depending on which product or coin you have chosen. For example, Solana. I'm sure you are confident about Solana and that it's going to be here in the long run, and therefore the current prices, which are 60-70% down from the all-time high, you will finish the correction. I mean, the alternative is that the asset is dying, which I don't think anyone is believing at the moment here who's invested in Solana, otherwise you wouldn't be invested. And typically in markets anyway, I mean, assets always go up unless they are dying, okay? So there is only one way really in the chart here, and that has to be up. If it's not up, it will die, okay? So overall, and also I'm not thinking that's gonna die, so these corrections are completely normal. Yeah, just check out the Apple stock. I shared it with the channel members yesterday. Check out Amazon, check out the tech stocks in the beginning. Every asset with a low market cap has these corrections. That's needed to create a suitable structure for a chart for the years to come, okay? It is needed. You need those highs and lows, and you need crazy highs and crazy lows in order to create that structure on which for the next decades, yeah, a chart can build a structure on, yeah, just based on the Elliott Wave method and how wave counts work. So even, for example, Amazon today, even Facebook or Meta today, even Apple, they are all benefiting still from the structure that the chart has been making from early in the beginning, okay? So this is needed, yeah? I'm talking here about so-called wave 1-2 setups, where you have here your wave 1, then you have your wave 2. And based on that, you have your next wave 3. But typically what happens, you don't just have a wave 3, you have extended waves and so on. And all of these waves that open up, they need to be closed at a certain point in time. And the more of these crazy moves you have here in the beginning, the more crazy the price can move up in the future. It's a bit complicated. Maybe I'll talk about that in more detail in a video in the future. But yeah, it's completely normal that you get these corrections. So there's no reason to panic in my view. We are just in a normal correction, okay? And the question here is, does the wave 5 to the downside still come? I'm fairly confident it will, yeah. That we are going to see still lower levels, at least to $55. That's the 0.786 Fib level. That would be my primary expectation, okay? Especially as we are making here in the chart lower lows and lower highs. Yes, Solana, a lot of interest yesterday because Solana was stronger than many other cryptos. However, look, in the grand scheme of things, that little green candle that we saw here yesterday, was it really that meaningful? Personally, I don't think so, but it's interesting that it moved stronger than other cryptos. But overall, take a look at the chart. We still had it, haven't moved it, still have this descending wedge on the chart here. And we are back in the descending wedge. There was an attempted breakout to the downside, yeah, as that was lost. I also thought we could really be moving here now to the $81 level, the previous support. Well, that didn't happen. We are now back in the wedge, but we're approaching resistance now, okay? We're approaching resistance, and overall what we've done is still a series of lower lows and lower highs at the moment. As soon as you can make a higher high and a higher low, then you can consider that structure to be broken. Until then, I will remain with my view that we're coming down once more lower. And to be honest, to really break that whole structure here, you want to get above the wave 4 target, above $122. But even then, we are far away from a confirmed breakout. But by that time, we would have broken the 50-day moving average. We would have broken out of this whole channel here. That would be positive, but we are far away from being there. I mean, you can even already see on the shorter time frame, for example, on the hourly, after this move up here, Solana is now nearly overbought. Yeah, on the 1 hour chart, on the 4 hour chart, not yet. So there is still a bit of room for further upside, but it's probably going to struggle at some point here. But yeah, it's looking stronger than other cryptos here, especially yesterday it was. But then on the other hand, it was a bit weaker in this whole move from the wave 3 to the wave 4 than most other cryptos. And therefore, just a little bit of catching up is probably not a problem. Can it break out of this pattern? Yes, absolutely. I mean, it's a descending wedge in the end. You know, we had head and shoulders in that descending wedge, but overall it's also a descending wedge. So it's just important to understand there is a resistance line that's coming down, and if that is broken, you're probably unlocking higher prices, and then we could get in a next move up, could get to the previous high, I think, at around $106. And then you could even move to 122 in the next instance if that is broken. However, if we are not able to break it, you're going to find resistance here. And then if you are making a lower low, a lower high, which you are at the moment doing, yeah, I think we need to wait. It's currently at a decision point here. If it gets rejected here, then I think the market could take that as confirmation that it's not able to make a higher high here, and we could then fall in the next instance to that $81 level. So overall, Nothing crazy here on the chart, nothing that would change the trend in any way. We are still here within my primary expectation that we are going to see that final leg down, but I always need to remind everybody that we are in this red target area, and within here Solana could at any point start a way or a move to new all-time highs. That can happen quickly, yeah. And anybody, as I said before, who doesn't have a foot in the door here, who's not on the train yet, and who wants to invest and needs to make the decision for themselves, right? Do I really want to wait for the lowest point, which I might not be able to get, or do I want to get my foot in the door here? Because if you talk about a wave 3 target of at least $420, $450, maybe all the way up to $700, then the current price, is it really that bad? Do you really need to chase the lowest low? That's up to you, of course. I am starting to dollar cost average in now, and I find already the current prices attractive, very attractive, and I am willing to take a little bit of a cut in my profits, because I know I might not be able to catch the lowest point here. Catching the lowest point is always a mistake many people make, because they might not get it. It might just be a fast wick to the downside, to the lowest point, and from there then the price can move up fairly quickly. But that's also why I've got my buy orders placed, to maximize my chances that buy orders get triggered when I'm not at the laptop, at the PC, or on the phone. So yeah, and if you want to see my buy and sell orders, make sure you check out the channel membership, the silver membership, because they are on Discord. Yeah, so overall, still weakness in the chart. The structure, this move up here, I don't like anyway. I talked about that. This is for me nothing where an impulsive move could be built on. No, I don't think so. And yeah, this will be here a decision point for the next few hours, and I'll keep you updated about that. So yeah, hopefully you liked the update about Solana. If you did, please smash the like button and subscribe. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye bye.